Hey everybody, here is the tutorial for my awesome original card trick. Check out the performance right here. Please check it out before you watch the tutorial or you won't know what I'm talking about. Okay, hope you've watched it. You should have watched it. I'm serious. The link should still be on the screen. Now it'll be gone. Here we go. Now this trick uses the setup. First thing you want to do is remove the jokers. Get them out of the deck. Next thing you want to do is remove 4 of a kind. I like to remove the 4 sixes. I think it's practically a better choice because, for a few reasons. Number one, the 6s look very much like 9s, so the fact that they're gone can be the shape of the 6 looks very much like a 9, so you don't have a problem of the shape of one number is off. You don't want to use a face card for sure because people will notice if there are only 8 face cards when there's supposed to be 12. Very big difference. And a lot of cards have the same look as the 6s. See, look at, for example, the 7s. You got 3 here, you got 3 here on the 6. So overall, I always choose using the 6. The 6s when I remove them from the deck. Next, what you want to do is set up the deck like this. Here we go. I have separated them by 4 of a kind. So I have the 4 aces, the 4 eights, the 4 jacks, the 4 kings, and so on and so forth. It does not matter what order you put the 4 of a kinds. You just have to separate them by 4 of a kind. Now, what you do is you take the first 4 of a kind, using the 4 aces, and put them down. Pretty simple. Next, you take your next 4 of a kind. I'm using the 4 eights. Now, there's something very important about patterns here. Here you go. You'll notice that you have 2 blacks here and 2 reds here. So the pattern is A, A, B, B. Because you have two of a kind here, 2 of a kind there. But here we have A, B, A, B because you have alternating colors. So you do not want them to have the same pattern as the previous ones. This one is okay. Hope you understand what I'm talking about. But as you can see, here's a case that's not okay. See that? Have the same pattern. A, B, A, B. Here we have A, B, A, B. You do not want the same pattern. I'll explain why once we've set up the deck. Here we go. So just change around the pattern a little bit, and then it's okay. And, another thing you don't want to do is have 2 face cards, 2 pairs of face cards on top of each other. You never want that, because people may notice the pattern in the end. I'll explain that as well. So, just do some number cards after this. Make sure the pattern is different. Now you can do the face cards. And continue by going through. There we go, that's a bad pattern. So just change it. That's an okay pattern. Whoa. That's okay. That's okay as well. And this is basically what you're going to do until you've gone through the whole deck. When you get to the end, apart from making sure that it doesn't match, that the pattern does not match, apart from making sure that the pattern does not match the previous 4 cards, you also have to make sure it does not match the 4 cards on the bottom. The bottom we have A, A, B, B, and here we have A, A, B, B, so we want to switch the order around. Oh, that matches the top. There we go. So you don't want it to match these cards or those cards. The pattern. Once you're done with that, take the packets and put them together in any way you'd like. And now, a few things. This is why we changed the patterns around. Why we made sure that there were no repeating patterns. Because now, for example, here we go. The 4 of spades next to the queen of spades. So you have a black 4 and then a red 4. And a red queen. Sorry, black queen and a black 4 and then a black queen. But you won't find that same sort of pattern here. Here we have red 4 and a red queen, red 4 and a black queen, black 4 and a red queen. And what's important about this, very important, is that when people notice that there's a pattern, they'll notice a pattern in suit or color first. So this takes care of any pattern in suit or color. Suits and colors are totally random. Also, the reason that there are that we did not put two face cards together is that people can't notice if there are two face cards. If you do a bad spread or something in the beginning, they'll notice that every time you'll have two face cards that's next to each other. That looks bad. So, this is what you want. Oh gosh. This is what you want. And for the setup, I like to do this. You don't have to. But I like to put the jokers in at the beginning for two reasons. Number one, it makes the deck look more full. This is 50 cards. Let's get rid of the sixes. This is 50 cards as opposed to 48. And it looks more like a full deck, even though I'm going to end up removing the jokers anyway, or else the setup doesn't work. Another reason is that I don't like just going through a deck to show that it's not full, or even fanning it out, that it's not in any specific order, even fanning it out, especially if it's in a specific order. And never say that it's in a specific order. So what I do as my excuse to show them the whole deck is I make a big deal of taking out the jokers and getting rid of them. Now you've got the deck set up. You can do as many cuts as you'd like. You can do a false shuffle, some false cuts, but it's very important, you can only do single cuts. Once you're done with that, you have the spectator cut the cards anywhere they'd like. Oh, right there. And take the top card without looking at it, put it off to the side at 1 second. Just gotta get the box. Forget about this. There we go. Take the box. There. Take the box and cover their card with it. Now, what you do is follow what I did in the tutorial, in the performance, sorry. And you deal down the cards into two piles. And for this, what you've got to remember is always stick with the last pile. So this is the first pile I'm dealing down. This is the second pile. So I'm going to have to stick with the second pile. When I am done dealing the piles, every time you're going to stick with the last pile. There we go. Do your whole, make it look as though you're doing some sort of psychic thing. Then get rid of the first pile. And now you really want to put it in your pocket because this is getting to be in a closer setup. The setup is, here we have 8, 5, 2, 9, 10, 4. Repeating 4 times. And it's getting more of a pattern that might be more noticeable. So you put that away, and I put it in my pocket. Now you take the remaining pile and deal that one as well into 2 piles. Remember, we always keep the last pile. So this is pile number 1, this is pile number 2. We get rid of pile number 1. And this is getting an even closer setup. See, we have Queen, Jack, this is Queen, 7, Jack, repeated 4 times. Now you should be left with 14 cards, which you say, just to save time or whatever excuse you want to make up, deal down into 3 piles this time. And remember, we're keeping the last pile. So get rid of these 2. You could do this by Magician's Force, which I like to do. And this you totally do not want to show, unless you can come with a reason that would make this a really neat ending, because look at that, you have 4 of a kind here. You have 4 of a kind here. If you can come up with a neat ending to this trick that would use the 4 of a kind, please email me. I would love to hear it, or leave a comment below. Really be interested in hearing it. But anyway, get rid of those cards, and you're left with the 3 that should match this card if you followed my instruction. Have them show this card, and then turn over these 4 cards. Now, this is very similar to my last trick. If you wouldn't mind, please comment below telling me which you like more. Do you like getting the soulmate with a big finish, or you like getting 4 of a kind? And if you can come up with your own big finish, that'd be neat to end with, you know, your 4 of a kinds. So anyway, please comment, rate this video, subscribe, and see you later.